I'm Valerie Saindon and I run Omnitide. We are a marketing agency and we focus on lead generation and client acquisition.
Nice. And what is the purpose of your business and your role within it?
Yeah, purpose I think is really helping and empowering business owners. I've done a lot of things in marketing, and marketing is very overwhelming. There's a lot of things that can be done in marketing, but working with small businesses over the last few years, we realized that if there's one thing that people need to fix is their lead generation and client acquisition. And once you've got that, then you have more clients, you have more money, more revenue, more growth possible. So that's why we decided to really niche down into that. So I guess purpose is, empower people to help them grow.
And providing them with loads of knowledge. You've been helping me loads with our business to figure out the landscape and how to generate leads.
Yeah, so obviously, I've always been a teacher, so I love the education part and getting people, you need to understand, if you want to solve a problem, obviously it's good to outsource it, but if you understand why things are happening that way, then it helps to move to the next level.
Nice. So what are some of the challenges versus rewards that you've had to date in your career? I know you've got many trades. You do yoga teaching and is it circus yoga?
Acro yoga, yeah, acrobatics.
Yoga. You do acro yoga, plus you've got your business. So I guess it'd be good just to kind of understand a little bit about what are some of the challenges in your career and the transition of jobs, I guess, that you've had.
Yeah. As a human being, I think a challenge for me is probably and then you kind of mentioned it, like maybe a bit of shiny object syndrome, where I am passionate about a lot of things. I love to try a lot of things, which is great, but it's easy to lose focus. And especially when you've got more than one business venture. So as you know, I've got my yoga business as well. So it's already hard to start and grow one business, but then I had to go and do two at the same time. So yeah, so that focus for me has been quite challenging to learn to navigate this. But for me, it's two businesses, but everyone has other challenges, maybe business and kids, or it could be, business and wanting to run a triathlon. Everyone has obviously different challenges at the same times. But yeah, being able to prioritize and identify what's the most important thing to focus on, I think is probably something that I had to learn over the last years in business. Yeah.
How do you stay on track with your goals and, your North Star? How do you navigate that?
Yeah, I think again, you hinted me towards it. I think the North Star, having going off the vision, where do I want to see, where do I want to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years, and then how can I reverse engineer that and then go back, okay, well, if I want to be there next year, what's the monthly goals I can set myself to, and then going off the weekly goals, and then from the weekly goals, what do I need, what action can I take today, small action that's going to move me closer to that goal, so it's incremental changes, those little 1 degree adjustment each day will make a big impact at the end of the day, which sometimes it's hard when you're stuck in the day to day. It's hard to see, like me looking at social media posts, how's it going to get me closer to my goal in a year? But those little things do have an impact, and you got to keep the big picture in mind, which can be a bit hard when you in the day to day.
Yeah, no, I get that and empathize with that for sure.
I think another thing we've all been guilty of that is working on the business versus in the business. And I get really passionate. I love working with my clients. I get brought into the working in the business a lot. And for me, it's always take a step back. It's okay, how much time have I actually worked on the business this week? And I actually monitored that. I'm a marketer, I love data. So I monitor a lot of things. And that's one of the things, how many hours I spend working on the business and how can I improve that next week to get me where I want to go. So that's, big.
Yeah, nice. And what about some of the rewards? Obviously, being successful in business, having multiple businesses, they must be huge achievements.
Yeah.
What other rewards do you get from the work that you're doing?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think obviously running two very different businesses and loving what I do and being able to impact people and see other people's dreams coming true. Because, if I help my clients get to their goal, I think that's direct impact. I love that. Personally, I was just reflecting about that recently. Obviously, I've got an accent. So English is my second language. I've learned English 10 years ago. And now I run a business based on the fact that my words is what make me money. I need to have good words to run great campaigns. And we've been working together on that. So you know how the power of words is important in copywriting. And now as a second language English speaker, I make my money through words in English. So that for me, I realized that's it's kind of a big moment for me when I realized that. It's like, yeah, pat on the back moment.
Oh, absolutely. I think that I've been learning Italian for the last 6 to 12 months, probably
Cool.
longer. And the appreciation that I have for others that have a second language and they're able to read, write, communicate.
Yeah.
I think it gets overlooked massively until you are in the position of trying to be that person communicating in a second language. And I think that it is such a huge achievement. We've got a colleague named Jose who's been working with us for maybe the last couple of years now. And he was in Australia, had zero English really, like just enough to communicate. And now he's taken leaps and bounds. And I think it's beautiful to see that people can, he's come from South America, he came to Australia, he's learned English, he's continued to develop his skills in English. And now he's a great communicator within our biz, and it's like leaps and bounds. I think
It's one of the most humbling experience. I think learning English as an adult for English for me, but for you, Italian, like learning a second or third language as an adult is very, very humbling. Yeah.
agree. And what I think we're getting to here, though, is that it opens up opportunity and connection and ability to work in different countries. And so through that pain comes
Big
all
rewards. Yeah.
reward. Yeah, exactly. And I think that is probably a good analogy to use for business as well. Like when you set up a business, it's hard, it's tough, it's always hard and tough. But out of the other side comes all of these great rewards, whether it's client satisfaction, people learning and growing and developing within your business, you learning and developing and growing. So yeah, I think there's something to be said around some of that stuff.
Yeah. And big, it's a big learning experience. You learn so much, gain a lot of self-awareness, and learn so much about yourself as part of the business. So yeah, it's a big learning. I think we were talking about that, earlier today, how for me, the flexibility. See, we all go inside business thinking we're going to get a lot of freedom and, we're going to be able to take days off, and which, is the goal, but we know that we need to do the groundwork first. But now having the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world is a big reward for me. I built a business model that is suitable to a lifestyle that I want to experience. So that's definitely something that is a plus of the hard work, pain and reward.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll do some quick fire questions. So how do you escape from work?
Nature.
Nature.
Nature. I need to spend minimum an hour a day in nature. So beach walk, surfing, swimming, walk in the wood. I need to be in nature.
Nice. And I guess that helps with just...
Well, it's just, if you go into the biohacking, it's nervous system calm down, it's getting out of your head, relaxing, and it helps counter the technology harm. We get exposed to a lot of technology, so it kind of neutralize the technology. So yeah, so there's multiple, and I get my best ideas when I'm in nature. So if I'm stuck on a project, I go for a little walk on the beach, and then I get my best ideas.
I read or watched something around the impact of grounding has on people. So because we spend so much of our time wearing shoes and actually touch the grass or the ground, we're kind of disconnected from the earth.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you're talking about,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, I didn't know if you would be familiar with the word grounding, but we're made of electrical connection, and if we're disconnected from the earth, then it stays in the head, and we know that when you stay in your head, you're not accessing the brain function that makes you think better ideas. So when you ground, you help getting rid of all that surplus of energy if you want to. So yeah, when I say I spend time in nature, I actually go and bare feet and touch, it could be feet or hands, or you can go, it may sound weird, but I can go touch trees to help, neutralize and ground. And you feel it straight away. You feel like the stress just dissolve straight away.
I agree. I do that as well. Not often enough, but I'm not touching the trees so much, but walking around on the grass and on the beach and trying to, where possible, take my shoes off. And yeah, it's
very good. Yeah.
I'm trying to instill in myself for sure.
Mm.
And a little bit about your routine and how you get yourself up for the day. I've had conversations and everyone's different. A couple of people said they like to set themselves up the day before, which I thought was quite interesting from a couple of people. And myself, I normally set up my day the day before. I've often got a to-do list that I have that always seems to grow.
Yeah.
And I always challenge myself to tick 6 things off every day.
Good.
And then if I don't tick them off, they move into the next day. So I'm constantly like shuffling my to-do list weekly. But yeah, that's how I kind of set up. But I'd love to
Yeah.
hear you set up for your day.
Yeah, I guess similar to you, I'm not as diligent at doing my setting up my day before. I use time boxing though. So meaning I've got blocks of time, my whole calendar looks at like a rainbow. It's all color coded, makes me really happy. And each time blocks is represent different things. When I'm going to work on the business, when I've got time for project for clients, when I need to do movement or go out in nature, when I need to do sales or prospecting. So, and when I need to be on social media, all of that is kind of already scheduled in my week ahead. So I know approximately how many hours on each category I do. So that's kind of how I prep my days ahead. Like I do that the week before the week starts. But for me, a good day, I'm a morning person. So if I can start my day early, really happy. And similar to you, where I have top things that I need to achieve. But for me is I need at least every day do one thing that would be towards my goal, like work I said on the business. So I need to take one action that is on my goal list that is not related to, because and you know that it's really easy to get caught up into working on the client's project and all of that, but then you put your stuff at the end. So now my one action I do is the one thing a day.
Nice. I use time blocking as well. It's a really good
Yeah.
technique. I try and teach it to my team as well and say, look, you're on this project, map out your diary yourself and
Yeah.
you can see how your day is going to look. And then if someone comes to you and says, I need this now, you can go, well, I've got this project on. What do you want me to do about it?
Yeah. It helps I feel with boundaries as well. It's where if a client's call you, it's like, oh, can we have a meeting? Then I know I can look at my calendar and my block for meeting that day is between 1 and 3. It's like, well, I can do an urgent meeting, but it has to be between 1 and 3. Whereas before, again, not putting myself first necessarily in the business, I would just say, yeah, let's just do a meeting anytime. I find for me putting healthy boundaries with the time I need for me and work on my business or my client's project versus people kind of jumping into diary anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. Boundaries is the key and one of the biggest things that, again, are overlooked.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's coming up for you and your business and what's the best way for people to connect with you?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the question. I run weekly events called Client Acquisition Made Easy. I think that's a great way to get started when people want to learn about lead generation and client acquisition. As I said, often that's the one thing that's not necessarily, but often it's the one thing that people need to fix. So the invitation, and I can send you the link, would be to come in and give it. It's a complimentary workshop. Worst case, you learn a lot about client acquisition and lead generation. And then you can go and implement that into your business and get to know a little bit more of what this is about and how that would apply to your business and industry.
Boom, smash through it.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Well, I know you've got another meeting, so I want to say thank you so much for all of your help and support over the last few weeks and months, and for helping me with the Nova stuff in particular. And yeah, we'll definitely pick up the conversation over the next few weeks. Maybe, like I said, Jen's heading off, so
Yeah.
it's quite thin. But yeah, we're thanks again, and thanks for jumping on and doing this. And
Yeah, no, thanks for inviting me. I think it's quite nice. It's nice to have those conversations. I like what that part of your, I don't know what exactly, like the mentorship type of thing that you tap into. I think that's really important and really good. And obviously I love mentoring as well. So it's very close to my heart. So good on you for doing that. And yeah, happy Christmas.
yeah, you too.
Yeah. Yeah. And are you staying local? Because you were just in the UK, weren't you? Yeah.
Staying local, and then just heading out to the country for 5 days in nature. 5 days of just in a tiny home at like a beautiful little site. So looking forward to being in nature for 6 days.
Yeah, good on you. Okay. Well, yeah, thank you. Obviously, I'm really happy we got to work together this year. I feel like you achieved a lot, like we've done big milestone, and happy to if you want to keep working in the new year. And I think it's a good thing you stopping anyway right now, because we've seen a lot of our clients, ads declining because of the high competition of Christmas, Boxing Day, all of that, and everyone's off and not thinking about that stuff anyways.
Most of our clients are finished already, so
Yeah, yeah, cool. Amazing. I've got to shoot because I'm a bit late. Yeah, I'll talk to you in the new year. If I don't talk to you before, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Val. Happy New Year. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.